So, hello, Regis. Nice to meet you. Today, we want to know something about the new Oracle Roving Edge infrastructure, and I'm happy that you probably will tell us something about it. But first, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your role in the Oracle organization.
Sure. Hi, Oliver. So I'm Regis Louis. I'm the Vice President of Cloud Strategy for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So I'm the liaison with our engineering organization for the region.
Okay, thank you. And I know Oracle has a lot to offer in the cloud area. Can you give us an overview over the Oracle cloud and especially the hybrid cloud strategy?
Sure. So as it relates to hybrid cloud, clearly we see customers not deciding to deploy only on-premise or only in the cloud. All global organizations that we are seeing around the world, frankly, are looking at hybrid deployments, right? Whether this is for technical reasons, whether this is because of some regulations. And very much our strategy at Oracle has been to meet customers where they are in their cloud adoption journey, right? Mm-hmm. And even when you talk about hybrid, it's not like one size fits all. You have different type of requirement, different type of use cases, depending on the size of the workload you want to deploy, the connectivity requirements that you have, the location of the data that you want to process. Is the data on-prem? Is it in the cloud? Is it on the edge? Mm-hmm. So we see different use cases for hybrid deployment model. Either customers will want to extend their on-premise deployment to the public cloud. Mm-hmm. Either customers who are adopting the public cloud inside their own data center, which is something possible today. And the third type of aspect is to deploy a smaller workload at the edge of the cloud, where sometimes connectivity is a challenge, right? So our overall strategy, to come back to your question, Oliver, is really to provide a solution for each of these different use cases to help customers really getting all these options for hybrid cloud adoption. So what we've done is that we have created the Oracle Cloud available in the public cloud. We have now 29 regions available around the world, 38 regions at the end of the calendar year. So that really allows customers to have some of their workload on-prem, some in our public cloud, and deciding which workload they want to see in each deployment model, right? So that's one. But we've seen customers wanting to adopt a public cloud model, but not being able to adopt the public cloud because of regulations, because of technical regions. So we have invented that concept of cloud at customer. Mm-hmm. So you have the Exadata cloud at customer. That's the ability to adopt the database as a service inside your data center, full cloud computing model, but running inside your own data center only for the database, right? Mm-hmm. And then we went further. We have delivered what we call the dedicated region cloud at customer. Mm-hmm. This model allows you to adopt the full Oracle Cloud, all the services that we have available inside your own data center, fully running in a self-contained way inside your data center. So there's no control plane in the cloud. Everything is running from your own data center. Okay. We've also, and this is something important for many customers in terms of hybrid, brought to market a VMware cloud solution, which is the ability to take VMware workloads running on premise and have a hybrid model for this VMware workload running natively on top of our cloud, either in a public cloud or in those dedicated regions I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And we've just announced another way of adopting this hybrid cloud, which is adopting the edge infrastructure, something that we call the Oracle Roving Edge infrastructure, which is the ability to have the possibility of deploying the cloud at the edge of your network, where sometimes there's no connectivity or very limited connectivity, to bring the computational power as close as possible to where the data is located, right? So compute, storage, network that you can move as close as possible to the data that you want to compute. Okay. So that's this roving edge infrastructure we've just announced.
Okay, can you tell us about some specific use cases?
Sure. There are plenty of use cases that we are seeing customers having the need for such an infrastructure. Like I said, any use case where connectivity to the cloud or to your on-premise environment is a challenge. Think of it as in the security or defense area, where soldiers need to have this processing power in the field, or in a plane, or in a boat, where there's no connectivity. Can be in agriculture, where you are going into the field and you need to have processing power from all the sensors that are now deployed in all our fields. It can be oil and gas, when you want to have this power close to, in the rig, totally, sometimes offshore, and there's no connectivity. It can be healthcare, to bring this edge close to all the devices having sensors. So pretty much anywhere where you need to have this data processing happening very close to the data where it is being captured, and very often where you need to do a lot of processing, sometimes AI, machine learning type of algorithms running on top of this data.
And then can you give us some details on the hard and software? What is inside these devices here?
It's a fairly small device, and you can cluster those devices up to 15 different nodes. So it can be pretty hefty. Each node contains 40 cores. So that's the equivalent of 80 virtual CPUs, if you will. Plus a GPU as well for the processing of those machine learning type of algorithms. You have like a 512 gig of RAM, 61 terabytes of storage. So it's a very significant machine. And like I said, can be clustered up to 15 if you need even more power. It's all secured. It's all ruggedized, so it can be really put on the back of a plane or on the back of a boat and carried out in the field. Very much of a military specification of the hard case, and also secured with an onboard trusted platform module, TPM 2.0, which guarantees the security of the device.
But you can also connect it via wireless connections, of course.
So you could connect it. The way it works is that usually the way we got to see this, people working with this. I'm going to give you the idea of the life cycle, if you will. You are preparing this application in the public cloud. You're testing your application in the public cloud. You're creating your VMs, your virtual machines. You're creating your data. You're testing everything on the public cloud. When you're ready, you say, I want to have this on this edge device. Then we at Oracle provision the VMs you have selected, the data you have selected on top of this device, and we ship it to you. So you receive it in a secure location, or you can pick it up in a secure location, and then you can go ahead and deploy this into the field. Can be completely disconnected from the network. But at one point, you might want to reconnect it to the network, and then the synchronization kicks in. So all your object storage that you have collected within this device can then synchronize now with the cloud, and you can push some updates also to the device, some patching to the device as you wish. So very, very, very simple model of operation. Once you're done with it, because sometimes it is for a mission or for something that is not very long, you can send it back to Oracle. And then we destroy everything on this machine. Or if you have specific security regulations, you can keep it and destroy it by yourself. There is a fee for that, but this is a use case that's also taken into account. So very, very simple model.
Okay. And then can you already name some customers?
So we've just announced the Roving Edge infrastructure a couple of weeks ago. So we don't have customers live yet on the device, even though we have a lot of organizations looking at the adoption of such an edge infrastructure in the various industries that I've named already. But we have really designed Roving Edge by a very strong collaboration with customers. So
Okay.
it's something that we have worked on a specification with the Department of Defense in the US and other customers having these requirements. So we are pretty sure that this is really meeting a lot of different use cases that these customers have expressed and have articulated to us.
Wow, a very interesting product. I must say I'm impressed. I'd like to try it out by myself, but probably not in the focus group. Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Very interesting. And I'm curious how it will develop in the future.
You're welcome. Looking forward to our next chat, Oliver.
Okay, thank you. Take care and good luck.